We have entered a new age where the scientific revolution has blended and muddled the waters for universal truths we once held. Now more than ever, it is apparent that the search for meaning has lost its appeal to many, perhaps man being the most affected in the process. Masculinity has lost much of its meaning by constant propaganda from politicians to TV shows. We were led to believe that men had become obsolete and that they had no more to offer society. This notion reached its peak around the late 1990s, where the struggle to redefine masculinity was at its highest. This is the reason that the film Fight Club gained so much popularity after a disastrous release in theaters, and why to this day it resonates with so many viewers. It revived a dormant beast within all of us, a primal and brutal instinct that many thought extinguished. Besides the clear political undertones and the obvious critique of modern consumerism culture, the film and the novel have a lot more depth to offer once you unveil its delicate layers. First and foremost, though it may be subtle, there is a clear biblical allegory that was hinted near the beginning of the film.
Go ahead, Cornelius. You can cry.
I doubt that the name Cornelius was chosen randomly. In the biblical scriptures, Cornelius was an average man, a centurion who received a vision from an angel and tells him about a higher calling, and Cornelius follows his advice and converts many non-believers into Christianity. In the end, he is baptized and fulfills his destiny to join the faith under the vision of God. The parallels with the film are more than evident. The nameless protagonist is in a dormant but functional state of mind during the beginning of the film, besides the huge gaping hole of his identity. He, for the most part, is a fully functioning member of society, owns his own apartment, has a dull but steady job, and he complies to every law he comes across. That is, until someone with a higher purpose lures him into a new creed, where he feels liberated and has complete autonomy of his being. And little by little, he and Tyler grew this sect to a nationwide underground fighting club. And well, in the end, the narrator metaphorically baptizes himself with a bullet. And once he realized the grand plan of Tyler, he accepted his fate as the leader of the new terrorist organization and carry out Tyler's vision. Even though it is clear that this film was exclusively made in order to portray the current state of masculinity, there is no denial that although subtler, the portrayal of femininity in this film is quite pessimistic as well. There are only two prominent female characters, Marla and Chloe. Chloe is a broken woman who is suffering from a terminal disease, and her body is wasting slowly and she has lost her sexual value. As she begs in front of the crowd that she wants to have sex at least one more time before she passes away, you can see in the crowd these light faces of disgust and apathy as Chloe is quite literally sharing her most vulnerable sentiments. On the other hand, we have Marla, who is young and beautiful in her own way. She is healthy as far as we know, but it is not her physical body that is in demise, but rather her sanity and her mental health. She is living alone, she doesn't care for rules or basic decency, and she's constantly wishing for her own death. She has nothing to live for, and she uses suicide as a way to threaten and bring attention to herself. Unlike Chloe, she has no trouble finding someone to hook up with, even when she was considerably younger.
My God, I haven't been fucked like that since grade school.
We used to have an ideal for the gentler sex, but there is no denial that women too have undergone a radical change thanks to new political and social movements. Whether for the better or worse, women used to represent fertility, youth, and innocence. A woman's body used to be a symbol of purity and divinity, and her prudence was the highest virtue she could achieve. Though it may be an unpopular opinion, the director has shown us the grim reality that some women are facing today, as the film illustrates how women are also losing their purpose in life through their body and mind. This film also gives us a small insight into the life of the narrator and his struggles in his childhood. Through a few scenes, we learned that his father abandoned him when he was only 6 years old, and he essentially grew up without a male presence in his home.
I don't know my dad. I mean, I know him, but he left when I was like 6 years old.
Constantly throughout the film, he compares their relationship with Tyler and Marla with his own parents. He always felt caught in the middle of their fights. He could only remain quiet at the sight of both of his parents ignoring one another. It is no secret that the narrator created Tyler as a father figure. But I want to focus on the last fight of the film. When I first saw this, I found it comical. Seeing an insane man punching and hurting himself truly made me chuckle. But then, I watched this scene a couple more times, and I was surprised at how disturbing this scene became as I started to understand what was going on in the narrator's mind. At this point of the film, the narrator has learned that he and Tyler are the same person, and that he is having some sort of dissociative personality disorder. We have also seen him in countless fights, yet in this one, he seems powerless and completely petrified. He is helpless against Tyler, and he can only beg, hide, and run from him, as he is getting increasingly more violent. It is clear to me, after seeing this shot in a specific way, that the reason the narrator could not do anything against Tyler is because he was reliving a memory of his childhood. If you look closely, this isn't a fight between two grown men. This looks more like an enraged man abusing and tormenting a child. Tyler Durden is not a good man, but he is good at being a man. He's confident, charismatic, independent, he's good looking, and he says exactly what is on his mind. There's no denial that his magnetic personality has brought him a lot of attention and respect among others. He uses his charisma as a vehicle to extract the insecurities of those around him, and use them as a means to reach his ultimate goal. He convinces everyone around him that they have lost their manhood, and that they are empty vessels seeking for something to believe in. And conveniently, he gives them an answer. A place where men can unleash their inner savage and gorge in the sight of blood and gore, and forget about the monotony of their life. It is until the second half of the film where we learn that Tyler had a much greater and nefarious plan. He doesn't simply want to give a sanctuary for men forsaken by their society. No. He wants to completely demolish the economical and social system and see the hierarchies of men be crumbled to the ground. But it's clear he isn't doing this for the greater good. He wants to destroy everything so the whole world can be rebuilt in his vision. He even uses castration as a punishment for those he deems unworthy of being a man. He doesn't want to revert back to the classical role of manliness, of honor and strength. He wants to transform man into psychotic beasts, and he wants to be in the top of the hierarchy and rule with an iron fist. The fundamental motif this film tried to convey is the polarity of manhood and its accompanying dangers. In one hand, we have the narrator. He is completely emasculated. He has lost his ambition and his lust for life is diminishing as the days go by. In the other hand, we have Tyler, who is fearless and determined to rise above all else, even if it means setting everything and everyone else on fire. The fact that Tyler and the narrator are the same person is no mistake. The nameless protagonist feels completely lost and hopeless. He has a vague and false idea of what a man should be. Hence, he creates the unrestrained and hyper-aggressive persona who instructs his followers to cause unrelenting mayhem throughout the country. The narrator, no matter how pathetic he was at the start of the film, had always had the inner capability of becoming Tyler. Well, he actually became Tyler at the end as he gloated over his own ego as the buildings turned into dust. This film perfectly explored the intricacies of manhood and taught us how the lowest among men has the potential to create great evil. This is what happens when men are lost in society. When we have no purpose, we crave to be noticed and respected by our peers. And we fall victims to ideologies who promise to restore order in exchange for small sacrifices along the way. Now more than ever, we need to understand that things have changed and there is no going back. But that doesn't mean that we all have lost purpose and meaning. We simply need to revive the wisdom of the many enlightened minds before us, and accept that there is no greater deed a man can do than to confront his inner shadow and realize that we are all capable of great evil, even if we're blinded to it. Thank you all. If you like this analysis, please share and like the video. Comment down below, I wanna hear what you all have to say. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to check out my channel, I have a bunch of these. Follow me on social media and feel free to message me for anything. See you all next time. Peace.